Hello, good evening, and welcome to the last Monday of the month, which is a day that I normally reserve for playing a special game, one that does not fit into my other usual days sort of things, and also currently my return to streaming after a bout of laryngitis that was not fun at all and lasted entirely longer than it should have. So, this is serving several purposes, being my return to streaming from laryngitis, but not to my regular streaming schedule, no, because New Year's is this week, of course. But I'm going to at least try and keep up part of my usual schedule by, playing a slightly different game from my usual fare, which, since I finished the previous one that I was playing, 1000 times resist, or 1000x resist, so I'm starting a new one, which is Citizen Sleeper. I have heard nothing but good things about this game, but I also have not heard any spoilers about this game. So what am I getting into? Your guess is as good as mine. In fact, your guess is probably better than mine. But still, it looks real nice. It sounds real nice. The reviews are really happy with it, so I'm giving it a go. So, let's get over to the actual game screen. There we go. Now this one is unusual because I have not been able to find any settings except for language on this sucker, so I'm not exactly sure what it's set to volume-wise or balance-wise, and whether or not I can adjust that later. We'll all find out. We'll all find out together, somehow, some way. But yes, ignore that thing where it's talking about the sequel. I will decide on whether or not I'm getting the sequel, based on whether or not I enjoy this playthrough tonight, actually. So, I'm not going to be playing through the entire game. For one, I don't know how long it is, and for another, I am just recovering from laryngitis, and thus my streams will be a little bit short for a little while, just to give my voice and vocal cords time to recover from the illness. So, new game. Oh my, look at that, all the slots are empty. How did that happen? Okay, so choose character. Okay, I have to choose a character class without knowing anything. Oh boy. I know this is a sci-fi game, but yeah, so we have Operator. An operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Perk, Transfer Intercept. Chance to gain cryo on interface actions. I know all those words, but together in that way, I have no idea. So, Engineer 0, work with machines and physical tools. Interface +1, work with digital interfaces. Endure -1, use strength or strength of will. Intuit 0, approach problems with awareness. And Engage 0, approach a problem head on. Huh. So, not much of a physical person, then. What else? Or an extractor. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Perk, photosynthetic skin. Sunbathe dice action allows energy recovery at home. What? So, Engineer is 0, Interface is 0, Endure is +1, Intuit is -1, Engage is 0. So, we have the 2? No, we have 3. Because there's also this machinist. Machinist? Machinist? A machinist prepares and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Perk, Efficient Extractor. Chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions. So, engineer +1, interface 0, endure 0, intuit 0, engage -1. That's a tricky choice. I don't know what would actually be useful. I mean, this... I don't know how useful energy is. I don't know. All of these guys are bad at Intuit, which feels bad for me. Pick whichever one you feel like playing. Enkidusks, hello, welcome to the stream. Yes, the main question is which one do I feel like playing? I would have liked to have one who actually had some Intuit, because I feel like that's more my style. But unfortunately they all have either Intuit 0 or -1. So, well, I guess not. Let's just go with the operator. It was the first one that came up. I like drones. Drones are like pets. I like pet classes. Pet classes are good. Okay. Going in. Dun dun dun. Loading? Are we loading? Ah, there we go. Unknown. Where are you? The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. And already the game is just a little too loud, so let's turn it down just a little so that it is quieter than I am. I am the most important noise on my stream, darn it. There we go. Okay. It's at its worst when waking, when your self has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body, forget that body. Oh, this is starting to remind me of the way the Disco Elysium started. Man, I hope I'm not stumbling around someplace in my underwear. Let's think of that body. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day. The sting of blood welling from a fresh wound. The friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach, until you can't tell one from the other. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. I'm in a crate? Who has boxed me? Why have I been boxed? You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful. Not like you used to know pain, at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan, remember the others. Huh. Okay, so there is a lot of pain, but for some reason we are able to just sort of shunt that into background noise? Okay, the future is amazing. I would like to have a function like that for my migraines. That would be awesome. You know what, remember the others. You remember there were 10 of you. 10 that could no longer stand the indentured work, the routines, the slow decay. 10 whose belief in their promised future was slowly dismantled day by day until they realized they had sold away everything that could and would ever matter. 10 that would escape, or at least die trying. Okay, that's dark. Some were lost in the shaft. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached any destination. Wait for the cold, try to rest. Okay, so we were working in some sort of indentured situation for some reason. There were 10 people who are just like, it is time to go, but yeah, not everybody made it to the meeting point, and who knows who's going to make it through the shipping. Wait for the cold or try to rest. Rest. Try to rest. Always try and rest when you can. But you are restless. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You've been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. Okay. And the phone. Oh boy. Okay, I will return. Hello, I am returned. Thankfully, that was not the emergency that I thought that call was. Normally the people who call on the landline at night are calling because of something very bad, but that was just, that was fine. That was fine. Alright, back to, where was I? Alright, yes. We just found out that we've been in this box for a while. Thankfully we boxed ourselves, so we don't have to build up resentment against somebody else about putting us in a box. But it's been a little too long and stuff is going wrong. Good to know. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It's time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Oh, okay. I will rest. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. I'm assuming cold. I'm assuming I feel some cold. Don't tell me to unmute my microphone. My microphone is already unmuted. I checked. Okay. Feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Ooh. Then light, white as the cold, softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You are out. Hello? Is this a ship or a station? Dragos, pragmatic salvager. Okay, Dragos, a pragmatic and private salvager, who I presume is the one who found me. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. Warmth! Light! Turning down my headphones. Okay, little too much shimmer noise there. Alright. Continue. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. Okay, so the ship that we were on has become salvage? How long were we on there? So, Sleeper, you all thawed yet? Almost? Or stay silent? I am incapable of remaining silent. So, almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Okay, so I'm not the first one to attempt escape. I just might be the first one to have succeeded. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. It's a cute little bug. It's a very cute little bug. I like it. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. Okay. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment, or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. What happened to them? Or stay silent? Huh. What happened to them? He ignores your question. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now, and you are just software, a rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. Great! I figured as much, but it's good to have confirmation. I don't think this person has any reason to lie to me, basically. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. Oh, I see how it goes. The person signs the form, get to get the reward and stuff, and then the corporation is just like, well, we need another copy, just peel one off and shove it into a, I'm assuming, robot body, and off we go. And yeah, that's probably great for them. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well then, no one can. Ah. Okay, so proprietary tech. Oh, we love it. Right to repair, people! Gotta fight for it. Otherwise, this is the future. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The eye, or stay silent? Okay. The eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you are welcome to it. I get to live in a shipping crate, which seems very ironic considering how I arrived here, apparently. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion, fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Nod. All right, you head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Dragos stalks back into the wrecks, his drones already converging on a rustling hulk, plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. This doesn't seem spindly to me, but okay. Okay, so I might have a limited time to live unless I find a solution. Good to know. Also bad to know. Tutorial Introduction. Welcome to Erlen's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Select locations by clicking on their icon. Alright. Once again, I have chosen a game with, let's go with minimal, visuals for my last Monday special game. Okay, so head to the... Okay, so I couldn't just head to it from in there. I have to do it from here. I can view my character. There's more skills here. Ooh. Self-repair. Use scrap components at home to repair condition. Icebreaker. Agent nodes give double data rewards. Hard to kill. Keep 2 dice even when condition is breaking. Instant karma. Reroll all of your dice once per cycle. Obsessive haggler. All cryo actions are discounted by 20%. So I could buy Icebreaker. I could buy Predictive Reasoning. Dice actions display potential positive and negative outcomes. Or I could buy Thrill Seeker. Chance to gain energy after any engage action. I cannot have photosynthetic skin though, because I think because of the -1. I could... Apparently it's buyable that I could change that? I don't know. I've got -1 here, -1 there. I don't have any points to spend, so it's interesting that I can select things, but let's put that away again. Data, items, cryptocurrency stored in air-walled sticks of memory known as chits. Well, good to know. Alright, to the empty container. We're gonna actually try and follow the tutorial. Per cycle energy condition. End cycle. All cycles need to end. Rest and prepare for the next one. Okay. How much of this stream is going to be on black screen? Alright. You wait curled up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. I also have chosen an excellent game to return to streaming from laryngitis. It's solid reading. Oh boy. How long will this stream be? We'll see. We'll see how long the tea holds out. We'll see how long my throat holds out. I have to ease back in. Unfortunately, with laryngitis, you can't just be like, I have my voice again and go back to everything as normal. You gotta just slowly start using it more and more, not blow it all in one gut wad and then get laryngitis again. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Escape, getting answers, building a life. Well, as far as I see it, I have escaped. I'm not sure what I would need answers for, since apparently I do have a memory of, like, why I ended up, well, this version of me ended up in this situation. So I'm gonna go with building a life. Maybe you did get lucky finding yourself here. Maybe here, on the edge of everything, there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. Okay. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you've finished drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Not a morning person. Okay, so tutorial, condition, action dice, and energy. Condition. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. That's going to be an important one. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Okay, so these would be my current dice. I have a 4, a 2, a 3, and a 6. Nice. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. Okay, so this is the condition. These are the dice, and this is the energy. So my energy is very low. I need to find food. I guess I leave? Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He is still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it's implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Okay. Not good. I wish there was an answer that said hungry, because I think I am. Let's go with not good, because I think that's the more accurate answer. The drone chirps. Dragos nods. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Work? Or sure? I'm gonna go with sure, because I feel like I need the work. Alright then. He nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Chits or got it? Well, okay, we already covered that. It's pre-stored cryptocurrency, which, weird, but, you know, not unheard of in sci-fi settings. Alright. Got it? He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can, and sleepers, well, he trails off. But things being the way that they are for me at the yard, he pauses. I need the help. Why? Happy to. Did you lose some drones, sir? Okay. I'm making him uncomfortable, I think, but we're gonna pry just a little bit. Why? Things are a little tight, that's all. I owe a little cryo to a client here or there. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. Okay. Okay, he has debts. I need money. Together we are definitely poor. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Okay, well, I'm assuming that I will not get food unless I have money, and I won't have money if I don't do some work. So low end gate. Passage into the low end. So that's what's going on over there. This is Dragos's yard, which is definitely where I'm going next. And home. And there isn't really anything this way to look at, apparently. Ooh! Oh, rotation. We like rotation. Okay. There still isn't anything that away, so... But I kinda like this, even though it's a little awkward. It gives me a better idea of scale. Alright, so, Dragos's yard. Decaying shipyard. Tutorial actions 1 of 2. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice to the slot. Okay, so it's showing examples of two repeatable actions. Hull dissection, engineer. Even the rustiest hull can hide valuable components and materials. Extracting them means cutting carefully and skillfully. It's risky, and I'm assuming this is the slot where you input the dice. And repeatable action, manual salvage, which is an endure action, which not my best choice. It's going to take some time to sort and cut your way through the towers of salvage, but you are no stranger to hard labor. Okay. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy, condition, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Or negative, the action fails. Action dice affect these outcomes as follows. A 6 is a 100% chance of positive. A 5 is a 50-50 chance between positive and neutral. A 3 or a 4 is 25 chance positive, 50% chance neutral, 25% chance negative. And a 1 or a 2 is a 50% chance neutral and a 50% chance negative. Don't really want to be using those low dice for these, apparently. There must be something the low dice are useful for. It's just going to be a trick of finding out what, when surviving long enough to find out what. Okay. Actions display information about their type, risk level, and the skill and modifiers that apply to that action. 1. Type. That's where I noticed the repeatable action. Either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. 2 is the risk. Risky here, safe here. Either safe, risky, or danger. Safe, no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Risky, negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Danger, negative outcome means condition loss. Neutral outcome can mean cryo or energy loss. Okay, so the dangerous ones are quite dangerous. I hope that there are tooltips as we go, because I'm not going to remember all this by myself. 3 is skill, the skill that this action requires. Either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. So yeah, we're seeing an engineer task and an endure task. Yes, noted that. And 4 is modifier. Either -1, 0, +1, or +2. So you can't go higher than a +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some actions require +1 to perform. Oh, okay. Okay, so we have the 2 skills that it was showing before. I've already read them. I'm not going to read them again. We have the cycle clock. A debt called in. Dagos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or 2, things could get nasty. And back in business. Every salvager knows they are always just one lucky haul away from the next payday. So the manual salvage I have a -1 on, but it's safe. The hull dissection I have a 0 on, but it's risky. At times like this I wish I had a 5. A 5 would be very useful. Maybe more or less useful than that ad break. I wonder. Like, I could put my 6 into the manual salvage and let it become a 5. Or I could put my 6 into the hull dissection on the engineer. You know, I think I'm going to try the hull dissection. put the 6 in there. And run the action. Tutorial clocks. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dagos' debt, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Okay, so I used 2. And I've got 15 cryo now. If I put my 4 in here, we have a 25% chance of a negative outcome. Here goes. Tutorial, drives and navigation, 1 of 2. As Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any tracked drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu via the arrow button at the top left of the screen. So right now, find a doctor. Tutorial, drives and navigation, 2 of 2. You are now free to explore Erlin's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you are out of dice. Use the mouse wheel or W and S to scroll along the station. Rotate the view with A and D. Good luck. Okay, I already figured that out. Thank you. I had a negative outcome. Oh dear. I don't know what happened. I seem to have lost some of this, but survive, find a doctor. Repay Dagos, survive. Well, I appear to be tracking survive. Dock C4, Rotunda Wet Dock. Rotunda, Old Dock Terminal. Dock B2, Rotunda Wet Dock. Bright Market, bustling open market. Low end gate, passage onto the low end. Well, the find a doctor seems to be pointing to the Bright Market. Hopefully a 2 and a 3 is going to be enough for this. Oh boy. Okay, critical action. Ask for directions. Why wander when there are hundreds of people that live and work within the Bright Market? All you need is the courage to approach them. This is only doable once and is danger, and yeah, I only have low dice left. Should I have run that second work action to get more money? I'm starting to question my decision. And we have a repeatable action to explore the market. The smell, sound, buzzing activity of the Bright Market makes it a dizzying place to wander, but an enticing one too. Local knowledge. The Bright Market is the easiest, busiest part of the eye's lower rim. You can find anything and everything here. We'll try using our 3 to explore. Good luck, me. Positive outcome, local knowledge. What does that mean for me, though? Sabine, slum doctor. Memphis, street food vendor. Food! What is more important? I think food is more important. Memphis is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables and some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. That does sound really good. I believe you can open up the tutorial pages whenever you want. Ah, I see. I'm sorry I didn't see that message until so much later. My apologies. I'm paying too much attention to the game and not enough attention to chat. I'm out of practice. How did I get out of practice in only 2 weeks? Could I get some food? The description of the smell is amazing. It is a good game so far. I am liking it. I worry about my survival when I'm when I'm so free with my dice, but what other choice do I have? You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Approach or watch? I want to order food. You can't order food unless you approach, and also this continues to sound delicious. You join the queue. It's mostly made of off-duty salvagers, vac suits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vest, grubby mods, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives, their words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Eventually, it's your turn, and you shuffle to the front. Memphis speaks in a deep, even tone without looking up. First try is free. Oh, the first hit is always free! Excellent. Thank him or wait? You know what? We are a polite sleeper. We will thank him. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks, the earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. Oh, this is some good writing. We like this writing. This is good. This is good writing. I know you sleepers, Memphis says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. Oh, that is my forte, yes, thank you. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility, and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container, and the endless cycle spent within it. Now it seems, you tell him, like some dream that you once had but can never forget. Citizen Sleeper, that's me, sleeping and dreaming. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually, you tail off, running out of words. Okay, that's one thing. It's trail off. You trail off. With an R. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time we can talk some more, he smiles. But next time, you pay. Understood! Salute. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner's side, and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the walk. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. Oh. I don't know enough to know what that means. Are you going to tell me, game? You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. And he knows it. That's why he gave us the first one for free. Oh, it sounds so good. You know, there is really something to be said for just a perfectly grilled mushroom. Oh. Well, perfectly grilled mushrooms, really. Good stuff. Alright, we have found food and it is amazing. Sabine, the slum doctor, someone we really need to talk to. Do you have any drugs? Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. Everyone can tell what we are just from looking at us. This is not going to work. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you're here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block, they all have made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will destabilize. You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Look inside. Look at the enforcer. You know what? Whoever is in front of us, we're going to give them their privacy. We're going to look at the enforcer. The enforcer is looking down the corridor, and you dare to glance at him. His purpose is unmistakable. He's there to intimidate, to threaten, and if necessary, carry out those threats. That's a bouncer. That is definitely a bouncer. That's a good bouncer if you can tell all that just from looking at him. His broad shoulders are framed with a metal exoskeleton. A couple of mirror-like implants sit below his eyes like mercury teardrops, subsidiary sense input or aesthetic markers, you aren't sure. You also aren't familiar with the geometric blade-like tattoo on his arm, but you make a note of it. You avert your eyes when he looks back at the queue. Okay, so I'm guessing that this is some sort of affiliation mark? Whether gang affiliation or work affiliation or just station affiliation, hard to say. Very early. Very early. We're still learning how things work in this world. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the Bright Market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and, for a moment, you are transfixed by the motion. Oh, I'm a cat. Okay, I would prefer to be a fox, but okay. Come, sit, calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted finger turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. This is a fascinating get-up. I can... Okay, this would be a protective coat that goes over the suit. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Also, cute. This one is cute. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please sit. They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. Oh, can they not help us? Do they already know they can't help us? How long have you been on the station? They ask, the scanner still to their eye. A few cycles. Don't answer. No, this is hopefully our doctor. So, few cycles? They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Like I said, everybody knows exactly what we are the moment that they look at us. There's no point in trying to hide. Your body is dying. They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. That's a good doctor, I guess. Yeah, generally speaking, that is a good doctor. SNARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose. To prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case escaping, they built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. They make it so that we decay when we're not getting the proper supplements. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which SNARP remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? Yes? No? How do you know this? You know, the salvager also knew this. So I'm guessing that this is just general knowledge. Okay, we're gonna go with yes. Good. That may help. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Probably both. I'm going to go with both. I believe both. Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and SNARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Yeah, because everyone who is in the market is an escapee, so why would they? Sabine looks up, as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something. Anything. Oh, they don't know what to say. Oh, they're trying to pick their words. The silence is getting awkward. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor. Yet again. They are influential in the low end. They give me the space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcer, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. Look away. Okay, so the mark was a gang affiliation, and now we know. I'm observant. but yet again has connections. Smugglers from the Starward Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Why help me? Or thank you? No, you know what? They have chosen to help me. I am not going to question why. I do believe that there's ulterior motives around here somewhere. I do not care to overturn that rock at this point. I have found food. I have shelter. I might have a way to survive. This is good enough for now. Thank you. Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. I don't know why Sabine has chosen to help, but I am thankful that they did. What to do with this too? I should do something with this too. We could go to the rotunda. We could go to the shipyard. Heavenage construction yards. I'm not sure I want to go to these construction yards, but you know what? Let's try the rotunda. Oh. Okay, so critical action, steal dock plans, which is an engage action, which I have a 0 in. Heavenage security has to have plans. Stealing them would be the fastest way to get to know this place, and the most dangerous. Yeah, that's got a danger on it. Dock watcher. Getting to know the rotunda doesn't just mean new places to visit, it means keeping your eye on new arrivals, too. Explore the rotunda, which is an intuit, which also has a 0. The rotunda of the old dock is filled with passageways and concourses leading to all kinds of docking bays. And that leads to the Heavenage watch list. Heavenage run the rotunda, and their security watches the docks. Better to avoid attracting their attention. Huh. So it seems like stealing the plans is the better action? But yeah, I'm not sure I want to do either of those. What's going on with the docks? Let's B2. Salvage sortie. It takes several cycles to reach the Starward Belt and return, loaded with scrap from old wrecks. Okay, there's nothing to do here. C4. Hylian Crossing. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Hylian system are rare, but those that do always return eventually. Huh. This is going to take probably at least a cycle. I don't know that I want to go to the low end at this point. I think I would want to go with more dice than I currently have. What's going on with the shipyard? 2 repeatable actions. Assist a shipbuilder, which is an engineer task. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. If you can get a shipbuilder to notice them, you might be in. Or haul materials. As a newcomer, you can only gain favor by grabbing a load of materials and asking the nearest yard hand where to take them. That's an endure, it's danger. Yard hand. The only way to get to know the shipyard is to work there. No tourists here. Do I want to run a risky task with a 2? Like, it's a 50-50 chance. Or there's Dagos's yard. I could attempt some manual salvage with my 2. It's still a 50-50 though, because it becomes a 1 because of that. But the other one is to attempt hull dissection again. And then get to know Emphis, repay Dragos, survive. Let's see. Dragos pulled you out of the salvage and set you up. Perhaps you can repay his kindness in time. Safe action is a good choice. Yeah. I mean, I worry about the 50-50, but the safe has the best chance with a 50-50. I don't know that I want to repay Dragos quite yet, because I don't know how much anything costs. Without knowing how much, say, my daily food costs, giving away what money I have is a bad idea. There's also get to know Emphis. Emphis loves 2 things, stories and food. Maybe if you supply him with both, you can hear his story. So that's just, it's a quest to eat at his stall. I am happy to carry that out, but not right now because I'm good. I'm good on food right now. So, do I Dagos here, or whoop? Okay, it's only risky and danger in the shipyard. So you know what? We're going to continue to accept to help Dragos. We're indebted to Dragos anyway. Okay, we're gonna use the 2 for the manual salvage, and we will pray. We will pray for a good option. All right, neutral outcome, best I could have asked for. All right, so that has used up my dice. So back to the empty container that we call home, and end the cycle. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. That doesn't sound good. For a moment, you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station, no, you feel the station, like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Observe it, touch it. I don't feel like touching it is safe, so I'm going to observe. Even though you have no eyes, no sight, you feel the map of the station. No, not the map of the station, but the map of its connections. It is a looped cloud with spokes and spires that jut out into space. It is an ingrown thing full of obsolete loops and severed pathways. It is a system, a map, and a territory, all at once. You notice a tugging feeling, pulling at you insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in 2 directions at once. You look down. 2 directions. Which 2 directions? All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it is waiting there, the station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then is gone. I'm fading, apparently, which only gives me 3 dice. Oh boy. What is this? Hello? Why can't I move? Because I had my fingers on the wrong keys. We will not talk about this. Okay, so I'm guessing that this is a countdown to when things will arrive. Sabine is working. I think this is a very good time. You're melting. What a world, what a world. Oh no. Welcome back to the stream, Green. I think this is a good time to find out how much food costs. Okay. Repeatable action. Order fungus. Emphasis spiced fungus is one of the few things potent enough to stimulate your limited taste sensors. It's incredible stuff. It sounds so good. Fungus fan. Emphas doesn't trust people easily, but he notices his regular customers in his own quiet way. We're going to flirt with him by eating his cooking. It is the best way. Okay, so it costs 15 to order some fungus right now. Is this dragon? This is drag. Okay. Order food. Energy, fungus fan. Lost some money. So it looks like to progress with him, we need to eat here 3 more times. Nice talking to you. I assume we talked. I think that continuing to work for Dragos is probably the best way to go here. I've got this lovely 6, and I don't see any reason not to apply that to some hull dissection. It is unfortunate the other ones are 1s, and that I only have 3 dice. Oh boy. Okay, so 100% positive outcome. Actually, is this what I want to do? Because I could use it for the danger on this Hall of Materials. To force a positive, or to force a 50-50. Okay, that would only force a 50-50 because of my -1 in endure. Oh, these choices are hard. I feel like becoming known in the shipyard would be a good course forward for me. I can take these ones back to Dragos's. I think that's the plan. I think we spend the 6 on the risky job here and get some yard hand. Five whole cryo. Oh boy, that was barely worth it, but we did get a bit of yard hand. And we'll spend the other 2 at Dragos's, doing some manual salvage. $50-50 chances. Negative outcome, but we did get some money at least. Okay. Gonna try it again. Alright. Got 10 cryo and some more back in business out of that one. So we have more money than what we started the day with. I wish Dragos had told us something of how much he owed, so that I know how much I need to provide. What a boring day I've been. But that's the way it is, I guess. We're really waiting on Sabine here. If Sabine comes through for us. Oh, I really hope Sabine comes through for us. This could be a really short playthrough if they don't. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights, like stars reflected in a winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you see bright shapes, caches of simmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the ring, through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops that it seems almost impossible to parse, but you begin to try. Focus on the threads, focus on the nodes. I personally think you learn the nodes first, and then you begin to trace the connections between the nodes. I believe that that's the way to do it, so focus on the nodes. The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all this flow, the only solid and fixed points. You approach one, a pyramid, or a triangle, dimensions are difficult here, and lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, a meeting point of exchange. But before you can glimpse any further, the glass clouds and hardens, cutting you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes, one leads to another. There's so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. Look down again and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions, as if they were tied around you. The first, the second. Oh, There's nothing leading me to what choice I'm making here, so we're gonna, the first one I notice. The first thread leads out, away from the station, into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's probably a retrieval. Oh boy, I do not want. No. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something. A spear shimmering above a strange, angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. You open your eyes. Time is short. Hunted. Someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. Oh no. Oh, that's ominous. I don't like that. We did get some really good dice today, though. Tutorial, the cloud. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the Eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. But be careful, these networks are old and strange. Click the Eye button at the top of the screen to toggle this view on and off. Okay. That's a lot. That is so much. Key node 0102. That is a lot of hash. Havenage Gate H4. Okay. Key node 0831. I'm noticing a lot of this mercy. Doesn't mean much to me at the moment, but it's been in every node so far. Havenage Agent. Solheim Gate S7. Key node 4693. Havenage Agent. Yeah, they all have this mercy right at the beginning. Keynode 9426. Yataghan Agent. And I can see lines like going off them to elsewhere, but I can't see the elsewhere where the lines are connected. I think the only thing to do is to click on one of these. Let's try the agent node. Havenage Agent. A Havenage member is broadcasting on the open network from here, leaving them open to data extraction. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed on the right of the action. This is what the low dice are for! If you have a +1 or a +2 modifier in the interface skill, you will be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. Okay, so this is like a person. I don't have a 2 or a 3 though, so we're gonna leave that alone. Yet again, that was the people that the doctor was trying to reach out to. Some gang enforcers' implants are chirping out comm signals, trying to see what they're talking about. I would need a 1 or a 3, neither of which I have. Okay, let's just work our way southward then. Keynode. Keynode 9426. This node pulses faintly as it mines cryo at a glacial pace, abandoned by the hacker that repurposed it. Access protocols locked. That's a 1 that I don't have. That's a pity. I could use the money. We already... No, we did a Havenage agent, but not this one. A 2 or a 3? Keynode 4693. This node is orbited by the remains of a corporate countermeasure broken long ago by hackers. A 3 or a 2? Once again, don't have the dice. Solheim Gate S7. Slot Solheim Cipher. This gate conceals a network of systems which have been untouched since the whole Solheim collapse. Input 1 Solheim Cipher, which I don't have. This is the Havenage agent that I looked at before. I may not have the dice to hack today. Keynode 0831. A lone connection feeds into this isolated node. Its last access timestamp is 1,000 cycles ago. Fascinating, but once again, I don't have a 1 or a 3. I was so happy to see high dice today. Keynode 0102. The data here is part of a cache, tucked away during the collapse. Who hid this, and for what purpose? A 2 or a 3? And Havenage Gate H4. Slot Havenage Cipher. This gate keeps traffic out of the Havenage shipyard's internal network. The correct cipher can grant you access. Okay, so I'm guessing that that is what the shipyard, like the shipyard knowing you, is for. Well, I don't have the dice to access any of these nodes. So... the doctor is still working. Dagos's debt is clicking. I think we're going to spend today in Dagos's yard. So far it's been the most lucrative place that we've attempted to make money. And we've got these 2 lovely 5s to put into the risky hull dissection. which is a good 50-50 chance. Back in business and 15 cryo. Nice. I wonder what happens when we fill up this gauge. Back in business and another 15 cryo. That is very good. We've now filled up the back in business. What happens now? Question is, do we use this for someplace? Or could we talk to Dragos about this filled gauge? We can give them some money. We can definitely afford to eat and to give Dragos some money with this 70 that we have. Getting those 2 positives was really handy. Alright, Dragos? Hello? You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast, dark shape suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. Okay. I can already feel my throat starting to buzz. This is not going to be the longest stream, folks. I'm sorry. There are going to be short streams until I feel confident in my voice holding out to the next day. But I've got a warning sign, but I don't have the sign to stop yet. So I'm going to keep going. We'll see for how long. She's a beauty, isn't she? Dragos stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it is lowered into the yard. She is? What is it? Looks ugly to me. You know what? Let's agree. We've been salvaging for the last 3 days. I think we've got a feeling for it, right? She is lovely. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of its crew. What happened? Or stay silent? I'm gonna ask what happened. Because I want to know. What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. No, what happened to the ship or credit? I don't really want to know what happened to the ship. To be honest. Whatever it was tragic, and I don't expect Dragos to actually know the story, to be honest. So, credit? We may have done well, but we can't afford a down payment on this one. He pats you on the shoulder. Don't worry, we'll make it back once we chop this beauty up. You sigh, but Dragos doesn't seem to notice. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching, you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container, the wreck of the Essen-Arp freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Well, something bad happened to the ship that we were trying to smuggle ourselves out on. That's for certain. But it might be interesting to find out. Drago squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we're up to it. But what do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winter Light. Let's do it? Say silent. Well, obviously, let's do this thing. He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we can make a start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting, and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. One upgrade point, new drive discovered. Drive? Tutorial, character and upgrades. You've completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character menu via the arrow button at the top right of the screen. Got these cute little symbols that I remember from having looked at the character page before I was apparently supposed to. Okay, so just working at the yard repaid Dragos. That's awesome. That means I get to keep my money. Yay! Okay, so I have 1 point to spend. Oh boy, there's so many possible places to spend it. I could go for this efficient extractor since I've been doing a lot of that. Chance to gain a random scrap item on engineer actions. Or I could go for icebreaker, then agent nodes give double data rewards. I wish I had had the dice to attempt a hacking action, because it would be really good to know how much I need this, or whether I need this. There's also the predictive reasoning, where dice actions display potential positive and negative outcomes, which that does sound very nice. It sounds very handy for learning. I don't know how useful it would be for continuing through the game, but for like just starting out and learning things, this does seem handy. I don't know about this thrill seeker. I'm not so sure the thrill seeker is where I'm at. Not knowing how much or whether I need the icebreaker, I'm going to leave that be, which brings me down to this predictive reasoning or the efficient extractor. You know what? Let's take the predictive reasoning, simply because I was complaining about the not having Intuit before. Shallow? Me? Never. Predictive reasoning. Display potential positive and negative outcomes. Okay. Now I have one more die to use. The question is where? The doctor is still working. It's going to be at least a cycle. I could eat. What were the things going on in the rotunda? Oh yes, dangerous things. I could lose energy. "75% chance of a good outcome, 25% chance of a negative outcome." I think maybe I will try this out, but right-click works! Oh boy! Oh! New possibilities opening before my eyes. We're gonna go eat first. We don't necessarily have to. Our food is still looking quite good, but I kind of want to get to know Emphas, you know? Energy, fungus fan. Your mouth stings as your sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. Emphas knows how to make the food we like. Alright, let's... Now that we've eaten and our energy bar is full, let's try exploring the rotunda. Got some Dock Watcher and we didn't end up on the watch list. Getting to know the rotunda doesn't just mean new places to visit, it means keeping your eye on new arrivals too. Yeah, and that sounds like something that could be very useful to me indeed. So that worked out quite nicely, I'd say. Just gotta do it twice more successfully. Well, since I don't have any more dice, we're going to look at that shiny new ship tomorrow. In-game. I am worried about this hunted, but the survival is more important right now. Those are some low dice. But if I'm remembering correctly, low dice were good for hacking. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wait up! Walk away or turn? Turn? Feng is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Who is Feng? When did I meet him? I'm assuming him. A Havenage systems engineer. Oh, caught me exploring the rotunda yesterday, did you? We're fine, we're fine. Do I know you or walk away? How do I even know he's Feng? Once again, I was still assuming a he looking at him. I like the smirk. I don't know why I like the smirk. I should not be reassured by a smirk under the current circumstances, but... Do I know you? He grins. You do now? He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. Oh, that... I hope you're flirting, because otherwise that sounds like a threat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. Hey, I was very generously allowed to stay in this container for completely free. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Erlen said? The eye opens for us all? Nice idea, but, well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. We? Erlen? Oh, both of these are actual answers that I desire to have. Let's go for the name. Let's go for the name. Erlen? You pass together into the main walkway. No one has told you about Erlen? He's the founder of this place. That's why it bears his name. I've been here for 3 days. 3 days! Okay? I've talked to 3 people. Havenage should organize some seminars. He laughs. Not really my department, though. I'm with systems. Oh, we want in the systems. We want to know about the systems. Perhaps this is indeed a friend we wish to have. Although it still worries me that he reached out to me first. Admittedly, I wouldn't have even known to look for him. So, Systems? Everything the eye runs on. He runs a hand along the passage wall. This place is a ruin, but systems keeps it spinning somehow. At least we try to. Against my will, I'm starting to like this person. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I saw you around, and well, I know a little about you sleepers. I have a little proposition for you. Oh no, please no. I do not wish to be on future hub. No, I don't care. I don't care what the kink is. I don't care. No. He glances around, but this is not the place for it. You cannot have feet pictures either. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or 2 to prepare, then, when you're settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. Oh, I'm gonna end up on Future Hub. Oh no. It's the orange and black for me. Oh. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. Okay. I'm still just as hunted as I was before. I'm not sure what's going on with Dagos. I have to study the winter light. Survive by a did the doctor call? What is this? Grimy spacer haunt. I found a bar. Oh, I really hope I have enough money for this, because I don't think I have the dice to work today. I might have the dice to hack today, but I don't know if hacking will get me money. Unless... Wasn't one of these nodes like a crypto node? Yeah. A 1 or a 2 to get into this crypto? And I've got a 2. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. What did that... Encrypted key. A stream of passcodes able to unlock the station's aging maglocks. That's not what I expected to get from that. I was hoping to get some money. But that also seems like it might be something useful. But what is this encrypted key good for? Like, this was asking for a particular key, and this was asking for a key, but... But I don't think that these match. Eventually I will have to go through the low-end gate, but, I want to live. Please let it be less than please let it be less than 40 credits. Oh please, oh please. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshira's implants, like a cat's eyes in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark, and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with a case open in front of them, a set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. Oh, I get to live! Question mark, question mark, question mark. I have no idea how yet again. They trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I don't care. I'm the test case. You know what? If I live, I don't care if it's fake. I don't care. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we need to be careful. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself, which is all of it. Yay! In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. This is useful information, but it's also terrifying. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains which acts as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Passcodes? Which means... Passcodes? In very basic terms, yes. They sigh. Look, what matters here is the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted into your immune system. This is good. This is very good. They glance away. At least, if the stabilizer is genuine. The only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. Okay, let's do it. How sure are you? I don't have a choice. I really don't have a choice. But do I want to tell her that? Not her, them. Do I want to tell them that? You're so cute. I don't want to disappoint you. Okay, let's do it. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe, and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. Oh man, why was there no comma in that sentence? Oh, I had to breathe so many times during there, but there was nowhere to breathe. You swim in darkness. Muffled noises, like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? Yes. Or what happened? You know what? What happened? The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yet Again acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you are going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You are going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room, and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. Sabine or leave? Can I ask them how much it's going to cost? Like, I would really like to know the kind of money that I am working with here. Sabine? Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. I'm full! Oh, look at the gloriousness that is full. Okay, I should probably take these 3s to Dragos's salvage. But I think I'm going to eat first, just in case the 3s attack me. Emphas. I'm so sad that I don't get to see Emphas's art when I come to visit here. Hi, Emphas. More of your spicy, spicy fungus. You know what, let's put our nose in at the bar just to see what's in there. Repeatable action, get a drink. Repeatable action, buy rations. Get a drink. You're unsure if your frame can metabolize alcohol, but this fungal drink, fermented along the greenway, seems like a good test. 6 whole cryo! Or buy rations. Tala keeps some expired Solheim rations behind the bar for those weary spacers who ask why the Overlook doesn't serve food. And buying stuff would get me to Overlook regular. The Overlook isn't exactly a restaurant, meaning the only way you'll gain trust around here is with a stiff drink. Okay, so getting a drink is the only way to get the regular. I suspect that buying rations does not. I don't know why I would buy rations here, except that it's slightly less expensive than the fungus. The spicy fungus. But, maybe I will get a drink after some salvage. But I think I should do some salvage. This ship isn't going to be here forever. What do we got? Forensic trawl. Investigating the Winter Light means picking through its systems and structures with care. It won't pay, but you may find answers. That's a safe option. That gets me Winter Light. The wrecked cutter Dragos has brought to salvage has a history to discover if you're curious. Gives you Winter Light, gives yard clearance. Interesting. Perk predictive reasoning. Yeah, that's the perk going off, so. And then the other one is cutter salvage. Shipbreaking is tougher than slicing up loose salvage, but Dragos is happy to pay you a fixed wage if you're up to it. This is dangerous. This gives yard clearance and money. Dragos' nerve. Dragos seems increasingly nervous about your presence in the yard. You're not sure he's going to hold his nerve much longer. So I need to increase my yard clearance. Because hopefully that will reduce his nerves. But with these 3s, I just don't know that a danger... We could spend 1 die on each. And hope for the best. I feel like that might be the way to go. And that if it succeeds on the salvage, then that will give me enough money to pay for tomorrow's meal. We still don't know how much a vial of stabilizer is going to cost, but we don't have to worry about that for a bit. Alright, some cutter salvage. Actually, do we want to do that first, or do we want to learn? No, we're going to do the dangerous one first. Danger! Danger, Will Robinson! Danger! Negative outcome. I lost a little bit there. I still got paid, though. Didn't get any yard clearance. Alright, here we go. We're going to try some forensic trawling. Okay, we got the neutral outcome, which means we have learned a little bit about the Winter Light. I would have liked a positive outcome so that I would get some yard clearance as well, because I don't want to dance on Dragos' nerves. He's been good to me. I don't want to leave him with bad feelings. Okay, a little drinky. I don't know if this is a good idea. You know what? Let's not. My income is lowered, and I still don't know how much the stabilizer is going to cost. Do we dream? So many dice. Still being hunted. And Feng would like to talk to me? Question mark. Also, there is a scrap freighter here. Let's find out what Feng wants first. My voice is not going to hold out for a terrifically large amount of time more, but... Feng? Sleeper. Feng catches your attention as you approach the Havenage building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. Yeah, going by the picture, Feng here, Feng is a leaner. You approach. Easier to come in this way. Security, all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Feng inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There's a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Feng leans on a server stack and gestures around. You like it? It's a mess. It's incredible. What is all this? I'm gonna go with it's incredible because that covers both it being very interesting in here and also this is incredibly messy. Oh boy. Or what is all this? Incredible. He smiles widely. I thought you'd say that. He taps a nearby server stack which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block, speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station. A1? The one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they are seeing a constant, concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks, and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you amid the flickering machines humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can, can't you? I do not currently see a reason to lie. I can see it. I've poked my fingers in it, just a little. It makes sense, right? You're between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. He wants to use me as an interface system. Oh, he doesn't want to put me on Future Hub. Yay! You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Fangs notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. They are tracking me. Or no, it isn't. Yeah, being a beacon when you're trying to hide is a bit of a... isn't always ideal when you're on the run. No, it isn't ideal. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets. A shitload of secrets. Ooh, we like secrets in this channel. We do like our secrets. We like uncovering the secrets and showing them to the world. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off these last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havenage there's old growth. Those whose roots trace back to those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. He winks. Oh, he does have an ear to the ground. Very close to the ground, my goodness. What do you say, Sleeper? This seems like it's nothing but benefit. I'm sure there's a catch somewhere, but I get to poke around, which I really enjoy, and he might pull this tracker off my ass, which sounds like a really good idea. I'm in. Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Fang passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. Oh ho ho ho! He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. Yeah, I still don't know how much my stabilizer costs. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper, and I'll see you soon. You step, blinking, back out into the passage, those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Oh, okay. Disable your tracker. Extract the past. Get to know Emphis. Study the winter light. Survive. Extract the past. Fang wants to dig into old Solheim networks in search of secrets that could change the future of the station. Extract Solheim data for Fang. Disable your tracker. Fang has said he will disable your SNARP tracker if he can get to the bottom of his mystery first. Okay. This seems like a semi-important one, so I do also want to do the others. Also, what is going on with you? Okay, buy some scrap. Most of what comes in from the Starward Belt is corroded trash, but sometimes something valuable can be found among the salvage. Input 20 cryo, get some scrap allowance. The big stuff goes to the shipyard, the valuable stuff to the markets. They'll let you buy a few crates, but not much more. Okay, and we have another unload containers. The freighter crew are eager to get their payload into the Ort exchange, and they'll pay a wage to anyone willing to help them. So it's a little dangerous hauling that stuff around, but they'll pay 15 cryo. Offloading scrap. Freighter will stay docked for as many cycles as it takes to offload its haul of scrap into the Havenage yards. Okay. Okay, so the Solheim Gate and maybe this Havenage agent are connected to what Feng wants. Well, he gave us a key to the Solheim Gate here. So let's try looking in here since we have the key. Okay. That gave us 4 more nodes, 3 of which are pinging to Feng stuff. Solheim node A07. Still got that Mercy in there. Networked storage holds corporate records, most of them corrupted by a failed system purge. That's a 4 or a 2. Solheim node A32. Solheim Daemon attempts to protect this node, squeaking out protective protocols like a mantra. That's a 2 or a 3. Node A21. This node is leaking corrupted contractor lists from the early days of the system's palladium rush. A 1 or a 3? Huh. And this one... This node is orbited by the remains of a corporate countermeasure broken long ago by hackers. Okay, that's not actually inside. That one was the one that was there before. Now, I don't know what else I would possibly use this one for. So let's go for this node A21. Leaking corrupted contractor lists from early days. Because, yeah, what else am I going to use a 1 for, honestly? Bypassing. Extracting. Solheim data. Set of data unearthed from the eye's old corporate subsystems. I wish I could actually see what that data is. The cloud, in the data ghost of the eye. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread strung tight around you, it tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver, its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown, astringent, processing. Resist or stay still. I want to be this thing's, at the very least, companion? Maybe friend. I think I would like to be its friend. I think it would be a good thing to be its friend. Let's stay still. Please hold. Hunter? Sentient protocol unraveling. Oh, I hope it's well. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It is blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What are you? What did you do? I'm hoping that it just tagged me as a user in the system, but who knows? What did you do? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, although there is no ground here to pace on. Entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Sleeper, Essen Arp. I don't understand. Say silent. This is a tough one. I don't understand is what I am actually feeling. But is it the right answer under these circumstances? You know what? Let's front up. Sleeper, Essen Arp. Unknown, known. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature. Of and not of. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head, thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Stop or run. I don't think running is actually going to be at all effective here, so let's just ask them to stop. The figure halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? No, or am a person? I am a person. I escaped because I am a person. I am a person. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock? Or I don't understand. What if we have, you want access. I might be able to get access. If I get access, I could give it to you. I love how I'm trying to bargain with it like it actually can hear me. Sealed dock? An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. I don't have any choice but to strike, so I'm sorry. You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike of interference, leaping out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. Wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Fang, what did you do? What did you do to piss off Hunter, Fang? I know it's you, Fang. I will have answers, Fang. Let's see, a 2 or a 3 on this agent. Okay, so basically we need to keep Hunter nice and sleepy times. This one also needs a 2 or a 3. I find it interesting that the other nodes up here seem to have disappeared. Okay, we're gonna use our 2 on this Havenage agent. Because once again, I don't know what else to do with a 2, to be honest. Bypassing protocols. Extracting. Little havenage data. Oh, don't blink at me like that, Hunter. Oh, that gives me the heebs. Okay, so then I can take this data. Yeah, he will take whatever Solheim data that I find. How much will he pay for it? That's the question. Time to find out. Fang will pay you well for any Solheim data you dredge up from the Eye's old systems. What he does with it is anyone's guess. Alright. He pays 15. Interesting. Okay. I have these 4s. I think I should use them on the dangerous cutter salvage. %75 chance. Here goes. Positive, no, neutral, yard clearance and cryo. Okay. Darn it, it was yellow, so I thought for a moment there it was positive. I guess I'm not that lucky. But yeah, I think we need to get yard clearance before Dragos's nerve gives out. Alright, we're gonna try it again. Here goes. I lost some condition there. I'm going to use the 3 for forensic trawl because I am interested in the Winterlight info. But I think I'm gonna go eat. Because this will fill up. Here goes. Fungus fan is now full. Sleeper! Emphas calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you, cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. Why? What kind? He wants a story. What kind of story do you want? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something, the plastic bottle, into the wok. But what of yours? He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause. The spice is rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Emphas. I don't know why, but I just immediately liked this guy. Maybe it's 'cause he cooks good. Maybe because the description of the food makes me hungry. I don't know which one it is. You look at Emphas, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Tell him a ghost story. Tell him about your dreams. Now there's a Guaranteed my story, not stolen. I'm gonna tell him about my dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphas, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorm scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those gray, skeletal after-images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares. They were reflections of reality, distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned, back then, to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink. And now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps, you reason, it is just some side effect or a particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. I will be the hacker queen! I shall rule this station from behind like a shadow spider. The metaphor escaped from me and ran away into a crack in the wall. Oh dear. Emphas finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you, and you realize that he is trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Emphas passes you the meal he has cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Oh no, extra food. I don't have the bar for this. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the emptying market. But my time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer, so I will make a proposal. Oh, baby! He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap, in the greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? No or yes? I haven't been here for this long. I hadn't heard this. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Emphas begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. Interesting. Interesting. I will prepare them for you, and, if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Agreed, or perhaps. You know, once again, I immediately liked this guy. I liked this guy from the moment that we entered his stall for the first time. Something about him. Agree. Good, booms Emphas. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphas slides his walk away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphas's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think. A trade that seems more than fair. Oh, I'm so full, I'm creaking. Okay, so... he wants us to go there. I'm not ready to go there. I feel like I need to deal with my problems at home first. I can probably manage to extract a package or two a day for Feng. And it looked like he only needed 3 to maybe pull this hunter or tracker off my ass. So, yeah. I worry about Dragos's nerves. I'm just trying to decide what the best use of this 3 is. I don't think I need serum yet. I'm still pretty high. Let's try to learn about the winter light. Here goes. I'm hoping for a positive outcome, please. It's all I need. I got some yard clearance. But I didn't learn anything about the winter light. Okay. My tea is starting to run low. I think I will run one more day and then call it a night on the stream, and then we will return to Citizen Sleeper at the end of January. I am really worried about this being hunted part, though. Being hunted from 2 different places now. Okay, I've got a couple of low dice today. Low seems to be my hacking dice. Let's see. This one wants a 4 or a 2. This one wants a 2 or a 3. Okay. It's probably risky to do both of them in one day, but I am getting very nervous about that hunter. So we'll use our 3 on this one, and we'll use our 2 on the other one, and then we'll use the 4 and the 5 for probably Dragos. Extract! We didn't get Hunter's attention, it looks like. Doing another one definitely will, though. I do really want it, though. How close is my hunter? My hunter is getting pretty close. I don't know what else to do with this 2 than use it to hack, though. Oh. Girol fricassee. Emphas wants to make this old recipe. He'll need 3 handfuls of Girol caps, fresh and firm. Okay, you know what? Let's have a look at the low end. 60. Pay low-end toll. After some spacers caused some trouble in the low end, yet again have imposed a toll for entry. No one gets in without paying 60. Oh, good lord. I'm gonna need to do some more work before I can bring the mushrooms to my dear friend. Especially since I still don't know how much of a vial of my health is going to cost. Okay, well, let's sell Feng this data that I found. Feng's eyes light up as the data is transferred over. He hands you a stack of chits and waves you off. I am really hoping that when I fill up his meter, he will do something about this hunter. I also have no idea what else to do with this too. Okay, let us shipyard a little. We'll do some cutter salvage with this 5, which gives a 50-50 chance. Why are there fireworks outside? They are 2 days early. Okay, let's do the thing. Yard clearance and cryo. I still really want to know about the ship though. We run the 4 on the forensic trawl and hope that the 75% comes through for us, maybe? I might need that 4. What to do with this 2? Question is going after this havenage. Will that activate Hunter as well? We'll never know unless we try to find out. I'm gonna try this one just because. Neutral outcome. Okay. Not the data that Feng is after, but didn't wake up Hunter either. And I'm sure there will be a use for this Havenage data at some point. Like, maybe I'll be able to combine it into a key for the shipyard. Maybe. Well, now the question becomes, money or forensics? This is a very difficult question. I think at this time money is more important. I would really like to know about the ship, but then again, I don't need to know about the ship. We're gonna go for money, because we still don't know how much it's gonna cost us, or whether we're paying in favors. Oh man, I hope we're not paying in favors. Alright, here goes. Hey, yard clearance and cryo. If we keep at it, we can probably fill up yard clearance before Dragos' nerve breaks. I want to be useful to him. Alright, gotta keep my strength up. I'm really gonna need to buy the medicine soon, though. Okay. I want to continue, but my voice is getting all burry in the back of my throat, so I know that it's a bad idea to keep at it. So I think what I will do is sleep and then save, hopefully. 44 seconds since the last autosave, huh? Okay, well. Having a snoozle. Those are some bad dice. Those are some pretty bad dice. Oh no. I guess I'm hacking today. Actually, I'm just gonna have a look. Does the... Oh, yeah, Hunter remains aware. Oh boy. Okay. I don't want to end stream on a nothing burger, so we're going to attract more attention. Okay, I can use my 2 in this. Thank you so much, interface skill. Here goes. Well, we got the Solheim data. One more thing. Oh man. That makes me so nervous. Okay, Fang? Fang. Take the data. Fang's eyes light up. Yes. Okay. Fang? As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Fang's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on metal casing. These snaky shitheads. Who's snaky? Say silent. You know, this is a point where I think I want to hear him continue ranting. We're going to stay quiet and just listen. Sleeper, that you, or am I in trouble? Fang's grinning head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. Darn it, I was really hoping he would keep talking to himself. Fang is sat in front of a set of monitors mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fang waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. Names, people, shitheads? People. People yet. But whose people? Well, I know whose data I've been getting for you, so this answer seems fairly obvious when you ask me Solheim or Havenage. Solheim? Bingo. He taps at the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in, all employees of the Eye's original owners. And he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Hardin Hurst. Friend of yours? Or who's Hardin? And why is he snaky? Who's Hardin? That, says Fang, giving you a sideways look, is the thing. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There's just so happens to be a Hardin Hurst in Havenage. He waits for your reaction. In Havenage? Are you sure? See, I think that both these questions should be a single statement. Havenage, are you sure? But no. Are you sure? Well, that's where you might be able to help me. Fang leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on this station as a... Fang looks across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. He was a manager? He was a manager of managing. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Our Hardin was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Hardin shuttled thousands of Palladium rush workers into an infrastructure, which means that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solheim. How do you know this? Or so what? How do you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I am a child of the collapse. Feng turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships. They breathed Solheim air and slept in Solheim beds. Feng's voice rises as he speaks, his hand fists on the terminal edge. And the work that paid for that existence, the cycles of hard extraction out in the belt, Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty, disposable. This guy, stabbing at Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. Surely it can't be him. But how? That's a good question. But how? These guys, they were big time. There's a lot of money can get you if you're a company man. Feng relaxes a little. But how is Hardin still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So we are going to find out. Hardin is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Feng brings up a map of the lower eye. Havenage might be born out of Erland's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. Feng zooms in on the far yards. Feng grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid, and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Feng holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of Hardin Hurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Feng puts a hand on your shoulder, but you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Feng grins. If you can extract yourself a Havenage cipher from a Havenage agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. So what do you say? Up for it? Yes, or what's in it for me? Sorry, Feng. What's in it for me? Rooting out a corrupt snake not enough? Find the information and I'll start work on that tracker of yours. Feng scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send it back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Feng digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the Eye as it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you're intimately familiar with. Yeah, that's the shape of my life, apparently. You think of Hardin, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. I think I already did that, actually, come to think of it. I've got to continue helping Feng. But the thing is, I have Havenage data. Is it what I need? No. I've got maybe one more hack before Hunter gets set off again, and I don't know that I want to deal with that tonight. I can feel problems in my voice already. I wonder if I can save midday. Question also is, can these 2s do anything for me here? 50-50 chance. I'll run a 50-50. Neutral. Okay, I only need 3 more yard clearance, which I should hopefully be able to get before Dragos's nerve runs out. And that's a bit more money. Within another day or 2, I am definitely going to need to purchase the serum. We don't want to be reducing my dice too low here. But yeah, I think what I want to try to do is I want to try and save here, and at the end of January I come back here, I use one of these 2s to hack one of those agents. Hopefully a 2 will do it. Yes, a 2 will hopefully hack an agent. And because it is a matching die, yeah, hopefully because it will be a match die, it will be successful, but I will have to deal with Hunter because I'm pretty sure that's going to give me the 2 bars to fill that up. So, yeah. This stuff has got to be useful for something. I just don't know what yet. But anyway, so yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do is, it's getting, my throat is not a good place, so it's getting pretty bad up in there. So I think I will be calling it a night here. Assuming that I can, options? Okay. You know what, I am going to turn down the ambient SFX because a bunch of it is like getting in the back of my teeth. So we're just going to put that down just a little bit. 0 seconds since last autosave. Perfect. Alright, we're going to take this to the menu. We will lose no progress because the last autosave was just now when I changed the settings. That's perfect. Okay, so that has been the first session of Citizen Sleeper. This is a good one. It does involve a bit more reading than I expected, which means it is a little hard on my very recovering voice. I may sound a little funny tomorrow, but I'm not streaming tomorrow, so that should hopefully be okay. The good news is, if you love the sound of my voice and you want to know what it sounds like when it's at its best, hey, I have my previous streams archived on my YouTube channel, which I've just linked to in the chat. The Citizen Sleeper will be going up there, but until then there are playlists on that channel for anything that I have streamed twice or more, and so you can choose any game in there and just binge through my streams of it. You can see how my channel has changed and evolved over time, and spend many thousands of hours. Or, if you prefer to see me live, because of New Year's, I will be back again on Thursday night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be playing Circus Electrique for Try Not to Die Thursday, where I will be, I will be running my circus and attempting to clear the crazed steampunk people out of the streets of London. That's the general idea and the gist, anyway. It has been a little while since I've played it. It has been a couple of weeks, so I'm a little fuzzy on exactly where I left off. So I will work that out when I start up the game. I know that I had just crossed the tower, not the tower, the London Bridge, but I don't remember exactly where I left off. I believe there was some sort of event or something, but I don't remember quite clearly. I'll figure it out when I load up the game. Then on Sunday night, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be playing Baldur's Gate 3, where there is a fight against Cazador that has been put off for an incredibly long time now. I've had a long time to think about tactics on that one. I haven't come up with any more ideas than what I already had, though, so we'll see how that goes. I have a couple of ideas. Hopefully they'll work, because I'm not sure what to do if they don't work. So we'll see on that one. We really will. A few things worked when I tried last time, but it's all RNG and getting myself set up properly, and we'll just see how it goes. And then next Monday night, we return to my regularly scheduled Monday games. So starting at, it's supposed to be 7 p.m., not saying 7:30, but we'll figure that out. Starting on Monday evening, there will be Slime Rancher 2 for Management Monday, where I might expand my ranch, but the main thing on the menu is doing a whole lot more exploring. There is a labyrinth that I need to learn and figure out what's going on with and everything, so I hope to be exploring more of that and hopefully unlocking more of the region beyond or within the labyrinth. Maybe finding some more map, that would be really nice, that sort of thing. So that is the upcoming schedule for the week. It is a very short schedule because New Year's has gotten in the way. Because New Year's is on Wednesday, my usual Wednesday stream will not be happening at all. So that is a whole thing. But Wednesdays will be resuming in January, once January is here. So those are the upcoming streams for the week, and what I plan to be doing in each of the games that I'm going to be streaming, at least where I can clearly remember my plans anyway, but it'll all work out in the end, I'm sure. So that is everything, and I really enjoyed Citizen Sleeper tonight. I'm looking forward to the end of January when I can play more of this. I will make a note on a post-it that I'm going to stick in my streamer notebook that's just going to remind me of what I was planning on doing in here so that I remember in January. So that'll be a whole thing, and we'll have a great time with that. And I have had quite a bit of fun tonight. This has been a fascinating game, and I hope that all of you have had at least as much fun as I have tonight. And I hope that you have a great rest of your night and an awesome New Year's. Good night.